Are you a piano teacher feeling overwhelmed by the thought of planning a recital? Take a deep breath, download my free recital checklist, and have a stress-free piano recital this year. Hey, if we haven't met, I am Phoenix and I'm the Tattooed Piano Teacher. When I first started teaching piano lessons nearly 2 decades ago, I put off having my first piano recital for years because the very thought of it just stressed me out. But once I finally hosted that very first piano recital, I was hooked. I have not gone a year since then without having a recital. They have become one of my favorite parts of my job and so incredibly rewarding. I couldn't imagine skipping one. Whether you are a brand new piano teacher and you still haven't done your first recital yet, or you've done recitals in the past, but they still stress you out, in this video, the goal here is I'm going to teach you how to have a stress-free recital by planning way ahead so that by the end of that recital day, you actually say, I can't wait to do this again. So ideally for recital planning, you want to start 8 months in advance. 8 months before your tentative recital date, you are going to start researching piano recital venues. So compile a list of possible venues. If you have no idea where to start, think of nursing homes, schools, churches, or other community organizations related to kids or music. Usually these places will allow you to have a recital for free or for very reasonable. If you're willing to organize recital fees and pay for a venue, then you could look at art galleries, museums, piano stores, dedicated recital halls or performance venues, or even hotels. So narrow down your list to 3 favorite recital venues. Do some online or phone research to learn more about the cost and accommodations, as well as space availability. You're also going to research piano recital dates. You want to choose the ideal date and 2 backup dates. So you can ask the venues about availability for these dates, and this may help you narrow down your venue choices. All right, now we are 6 months ahead of the recital. At this point, you are going to book the recital venue. You're going to pay the deposit if required by the piano recital venue. Remember to record this as a business expense. I use my music staff for keeping track of all of my business income and expenses. If you haven't heard of my music staff, check out the link in the description. You're going to add the date to the calendar. Again, I use my music staff as my studio's calendar. And then you're going to pick a theme for the piano recital. So you can brainstorm theme ideas. A themed recital will build more hype amongst your students. It'll make the recital a little more interesting for the audience, and it will help guide your decisions on the details of the recital. You can also start researching recital songs, so you'll have something for your students to pick from. And you also want to determine your recital budget. So calculate a budget and a per student fee. All right, so now we are 4 months ahead of the recital. We are going to create a recital song list. So make a spreadsheet of songs relevant to your theme in all levels. Include where each song can be found, like this is in the level 2 lesson book on page 13. And then you're going to announce the recital theme to your students. So make that big announcement, build lots of hype leading up to this. Invite your students to create a relevant art project that will be due 3 weeks before the piano recital so you can display it at the venue. You're also going to pick the first recital song with the student. Now we're 3 months out from our big day. We are going to pick the second piano recital song. So students are going to be in the learning process, perfecting their 2 songs. When you get to 2 months before the recital, this is when you want to start teaching them the recital etiquette. Teach them how to be a good audience member, teach them how to bow, how to go up to the piano, get their music ready, and all of that. You can send a parent recital guide, which will go over recital etiquette, dress code, the venue, the date, so they have all of that information. And then if you want to, you can collect parent RSVPs. And then if you are charging a recital fee, you can mention that in the recital email and start collecting that on the next invoice. Now we are 6 weeks away from the recital date. Make sure to reach out and confirm the recital venue. And if you want to include like a PowerPoint with pictures of your students from the studio, then this is the time to take some pictures And arrange for prelude music if you want some music before, after, or in between the recital performances. Okay, we're getting closer. Now we are just 4 weeks away from the recital. So we are going to plan the recital groups. I would not do a recital with more than, say, 15 maximum students. So if you have more than 15 piano students, I recommend splitting them into smaller groups. Once you have the groups figured out, you can make the recital program. And you can announce the recital groups so that the families know exactly what time they should be there. 3 weeks before the recital. Now we are going to collect those art projects. We are going to plan the recital treat bags if you're going to be giving students something on their way out. And if you have a PowerPoint planned for the beginning of the recital as people are coming in, you want to create that now. And then confirm with the venue that they'll be able to hook that up and put that up on a screen for you. Oh, only 2 weeks away from the recital. So now we're going to purchase the supplies for the treat bags or any other decorations or anything you want to use. You're going to plan out your own outfit, do some shopping if you need to. You're practicing bowing in every student's lesson. Yes, even the big kids need to practice. Sending another email reminder so that every single parent knows about it. And then you can write out your introduction speech for the recital. Plan everything out ahead of time so that you're not stressing out the night before. Now we are just 1 week away from the recital, and we're gonna assemble those treat bags, get those all ready to go, put them in a nice tote or box so on the day of the recital, they're ready to go into your car. You're gonna print any recital signs that you need. This is when you wanna prepare your equipment. So if you are recording the recital at all, you wanna make sure all batteries are checked or charged. You wanna make sure we have SD cards that are cleared out and all of that good stuff. And just gather all of your recital supplies and just put everything that you're not gonna use between now and the recital into a nice, easy to carry tote so it's ready to go. 2 days before the recital is when I recommend printing out those recital programs. I always have some sort of last minute change, so I wouldn't recommend doing this weeks ahead of time. Not the night before, because you don't want to be running to Office Depot to get more ink, so 2 days before is perfect. Ta-da, you made it to the recital day. So here's what you're gonna do on the day of the recital. Arrive early at the venue. So you have plenty of time to sort of settle yourself, go through that Starbucks drive-thru and get yourself to the venue at least an hour before the first performer comes. You know those grandmas and grandpas are gonna show up early anyways. Meet the personnel when you get there so you know who to ask for what. And then here's probably the most important tip that I can give you. Enjoy the day. Whatever happens when you get to the recital, enjoy the experience. Make sure you are present as your students are playing because it is the most rewarding thing to just sit back and relax and see them do their thing. I mean, you facilitated that. How great is that? So make sure you've done all of your planning, preparation, everything you need to do way in advance so on the day of, you're just enjoying it. All of these steps are on the free recital checklist. Click the link in the description to get that printed out and keep track as you go along. And if you want to keep watching, here's a video about how I plan the year's recitals, how many recitals I have and other studio events, when they happen throughout the year, and all of the details. So I will see you there.